First conditional. We use first conditional when we talk about future events that are possible to happen. There are two clauses when we make first conditional sentences. We have the if clause and the result clause, which is also the main clause. If clause is in the present simple tense, while the result clause is in the future simple tense. For the if clause, we follow the pattern if plus the verb in present simple form. For the result clause, we follow the pattern will plus the verb in base form. Example: if I don't study, I will fail the test. This is an event which is very possible. Our if clause is if I don't study, which is in the present simple tense. The result clause is I will fail the test, which is of course in the future simple tense. Will plus the verb in base form, fail. If the if clause comes first in the sentence, we put a comma after it. If it is at the end of the sentence, a comma is not needed. Take a look at the following example. If I don't study, I will fail the test. In this example, the if clause comes first. If I don't study. That's why a comma is put after it. I will fail the test if I don't study. This time, the if clause if I don't study comes at the end of the sentence. Therefore, a comma is not needed. Another example: if I attend the party, my wife will get angry. The if clause is if I attend the party. The result clause or the main clause is my wife will get angry. Some more examples. For our if clause, we have if she's free this weekend, she will go with us. If Brian pays me today, I will buy something for Amy's birthday. If he tops the test, his father will buy him a new skateboard. If I have enough time, I will write a letter for my cousin. If she joins the contest, she will have 75% chance of winning. For our exercise, correct the given sentences and make first conditional sentences. For our if clause, we have it is raining. For our main clause, we have he will not have attended soccer practice. The answer is if it rains, he will not attend soccer practice. The if clause it is raining is in the present progressive tense. We need to change it into present simple. If it rains. The main clause he will not have attended soccer practice is in the future perfect. We need to change it into future simple. He will not attend soccer practice. The second one, I saw him. For the main clause, I tell him to call you. The answer is if I see him, I will tell him to call you. I saw him is in the simple past. We need to change it into the present simple. If I see him. The main clause I tell him to call you is also in the simple present. We need to change it into the future simple. I will tell him to call you. The third one, she have come late. For the main clause, I cancel the meeting. The answer is if she comes late, I will cancel the meeting. The if clause she have come late is in the present perfect. We need to change it into the present simple. If she comes late. The main clause, I cancel the meeting, is in the present simple. We need to change it into the future simple. I will cancel the meeting. The fourth one, if I'll be joining your club, will you teach me how to swim? The correct answer is, if I join your club, will you teach me how to swim? If clause should be at the present simple. That's why it should be, if I join your club. The main clause, will you teach me how to swim, is already correct. It is in the future simple, so there is no need to change it. The last one, if Linda will cry, it is your fault. The answer is, if Linda cries, it will be your fault. If Linda will cry is in the future simple. Change it into the present simple. If Linda cries. It is your fault is in the present simple. Change it into the future simple. It will be your fault. Did you get them right?
Now we are going to practice time clauses. Here are some important things to remember about time clauses before we begin. They require a subject and a verb. A time clause must be connected to a main clause, but it can come before or after the main clause. If the time clause comes before the main clause, as it does in this example, there must be a comma to separate the clauses. In this first example, before I traveled to Australia, I was very shy. The sentence could be switched around to say, I was very shy before I traveled to Australia. Each of the examples to come follow these same rules about time clauses. As I show you more examples, I will also explain a little bit about how to use subordinating conjunctions. Before and after are subordinating conjunctions. After I went to Australia, I was better at communicating. Once and as soon as are also subordinating conjunctions. They are used when one event happens and another event happens soon afterwards. Once I experienced more of the world, I related to people differently. As soon as I met people in Australia, I became more outgoing. The moment is used for a particular point of time when two events happen together. The moment I was on the plane, I felt freedom. Until is for time clauses that go to that time and then no longer. Until I moved away from home, I had very few friends. Finally, by the time is used for an event that is completed before another event. By the time I returned home, I was a new person. Now practice using each of these subordinating conjunctions with time clauses on your own, and then with your classmates and teacher.
So as I said, we're going to be talking a little bit about adverbial clauses, most specifically time clauses. And I've got some examples here for you. Let's see the first one. I take a shower before I go to work. Okay? If you pay close attention, you can see that this sentence has actually two parts or two clauses. There is the main clause, I take a shower, and the time clause or the adverbial time clause, before I go to work. How do you know this is a time clause? Okay, because there are other types of clauses. This one's specifically a time clause because of the word before. Okay, so I take a shower before I go to work. Okay, now it's possible to invert the position of the clauses and still be the same, give the same idea. Let's take a look. Before I go to work, I take a shower. So all that's different here is the time clause is before and the main clause is after. But the idea is the same, okay? One thing you have to remember when you invert the position is it's necessary to use a comma, okay? So, before I go to work, comma, I take a shower. All right, but the idea is the same. All right, so main clause, time clause, no problem. Let's continue with some other examples. As I said, I'm not going to talk about all of them. I'm going to talk about the main ones. We've talked about before. Now we're going to see a different one. Let's take a look. I took a nap after I had lunch. If we take into consideration the previous example, we can see that I took a nap is the main clause. After I had lunch is the time clause. How do I know this? The word after, okay? I took a nap after I had lunch, okay? Also, pay attention to the verb form. I took a nap, okay? I'm referring to the past here, so I can use time clauses with different verb tenses, okay? So I took a nap after I had lunch. Now, the simple past is in the main clause, but in the time clause, we use the simple past too. Okay, so I took a nap after I had lunch. Okay, no problem. Let's take a look at another example. After I had lunch, I took a nap. Same thing. Look here, the comma. Okay. You have to remember the comma. After I had lunch, comma, I took a nap. If you decide to invert the position of the clauses, you have to use a comma. Okay? All right, let's take a look at the next example. We talked about before, we talked about after, and now we're going to talk about when. I'll call you when my mother arrives. Pay attention to this sentence here. I will call you, I'll call you, when my mother arrives. So the first one, the first clause, the main clause is I'll call you, okay? When my mother arrives is the time clause. Once again, I identify this by the word when, okay? I'll call you when my mother arrives. Main clause, time clause. But please pay attention to the verb tense. In the main clause, I use the future. I'll call you. Okay? Now, in the time clause, I use the present simple. You have to remember that. Okay? When you're talking about the future and you're using the time clause, you're going to end up using the present simple. So look at the construction there. You can also invert this time clause too. Let's see. When my mother arrives, I'll call you. You just